Girl, I heard we're canceling lash tags.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I post TikTok compilations and chill videos where I talk about beauty and just life in general. So today we need to talk about the lash industry. Is it really dying? Are lash techs struggling? I found some crazy TikToks showing what's really happening.
Girl, I heard we're canceling lash tags, and as a girl who's been getting my lashes done for 4 years and stopped cold turkey like a month ago, I have a lot to say about this topic. Lashes is a luxury service, okay? We are not getting the luxury privileges of a luxury service. Let me explain. I absolutely loved my personal lash tags that I went to, but I do have beef with the industry. When you go get your hair done at a salon, the salon is very pleasing to look at. The overall experience of being at the salon is nice, right? When you go to a lash tech and you're paying like upwards of $200, you're going to someone's room. I understand everyone comes from somewhere and everyone needs to pay bills, but like if you're not paying for a salon, why are you charging luxury prices? And then people complain about prices, and instead of kind of accommodating your clientele, you guys kind of bully everyone and saying if you're broke, don't come, it's a luxury service. Girl, your parents' home is not a luxury service. A lot of people's problems nowadays is they want to make a quick buck. Like they don't want to work for it. They don't want the experiences. Like, what do you mean you just got certified a month ago and you're charging me the same price as someone who's been doing this for 5 years? Like, we need to be so for real. If you're not passionate about something and you're doing it for the money, do something else. You charge extra for after hours, and after hours is like after 5 p.m. Like, what do you mean? A lot of people work 9 to 5s. Like, come on, like let's think. Like, let's have brains, let's have thoughts, okay? Like, normalize thoughts. What do you mean you're charging extra for me to pull up on a weekend? On top of that, lashes are so bad for your eyes. Like, you guys aren't educated about the glue. The glue is never supposed to touch our skin. It can cause contact dermatitis and really cause a lash allergy. Like, when I went to a lash tech, she removed my lashes for the first time and the remover touched my eyes and I got crazy contact dermatitis. Like, my eyes were literally this huge. After that, I became so allergic to lash extensions. I can't get my lashes done anymore. These are cluster lashes because A, I'm allergic. B, I'm doing a current dry eye treatment. Do I think lashes is a dying industry? I don't think lashes itself is a dying industry, but if you as a lash tech are not seeing any clients, maybe you're the problem. Because the lash techs I know that I went to, they're all fully booked, girl. And that's all I gotta say on this topic. I'm gonna see y'all later. Bye.
This is going to ruffle some feathers and this is going to piss some people off, but TikTok and social media has ruined the beauty industry, especially for people starting out. And if you feel triggered after this, it's probably because you are this person. I feel like social media has glamorized the beauty industry, and I love this industry. I have loved it for a decade, but I feel like girls think that they're going to get out of school and have all these clients and make all this money and work these, like, go in at noon and get off at 3 hours. Like, unfortunately, that's not how it happens. Now, there's a rare small percentage of girls that just come out, have clientele, you name it. However, it's not normal to start out slammed. It's not normal to start out with those ideal, perfect hours. Unfortunately, the reality is you got to work the nights. You got to work the weekends. You got to get through those bottom of the barrel clients, learn lessons, make mistakes so you can be better. And I feel like people just go straight into this industry because they're like, oh, it's fun and these girls make so much money. And it is, and you can, but you have to put in the work. You have to post on social media. If you want to be booked and busy like you say you do, you got to work when the clients will take you. You have to establish a clientele. You have to work those hours that no one else wants to work. I just hate to see all of these, like, well, I've started out and like I'm giving up after 2 or 3 months because I'm not slammed. You're not going to be slammed unless you're that small percentage that's lucky. I worked 3 jobs when I started my aesthetics career. I worked at a grocery store, I worked at Cosmoprof, and I worked my aesthetics career, my job, when I got off of those other jobs. I would see people from like 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. just to get people in. And then slowly I was like, okay, maybe I can quit one of these jobs. I quit working at Ingles. Still worked at Cosmoprof, still worked at my aesthetic shop. And then I was like, okay, I'm getting booked enough where I feel like I could probably take a step back and just do aesthetics. And I did, and thank God I did. That money that I made at those other jobs helped me buy the stuff that I needed. It is a hard industry, and it is very saturated, but there's room for everyone, but you have to put in the work. If you are triggered by that, then you're entitled, and nobody's entitled to success. You have to work for it.
It is so dead here in my lash salon on a Wednesday night.
There's like no one here. And Wednesdays are actually pretty busy for us usually, and no one.
When I told you guys that this has been the slowest summer as a lash artist who have been doing this for a decade and been a lash salon owner for the last 6 years, it is actually really scary. Some girls in my comments are saying it's the summer, it's slow, people are on vacation, it's going to pick up for the holidays. But is it going to pick up next summer, or is this going to keep dying out? And that's what I'm afraid of as a salon owner. Is this a time to pivot into something new? Because honestly, guys, I think it is. This is my sign. And with all this time, because I'm not booked, I'm ready for the pivot.
Serious question, and feel free to fight me on it because I said what I said. What is a lash cluster tech? And if you go lay up on somebody's table and pay them to glue them lashes on the bottom of your eyes, please let me send you my Zelle, since you clearly like to waste money. I promise you it will go to a good cause. And why are you paying somebody to do something that you can do in 10 minutes without leaving your house? Order some lashes on Amazon. Get you some glue on Amazon. It usually comes with the tweezers. Might come with some glue. Put it on like mascara. Hold your eyelash up and glue the damn lashes on. 10 minutes tops. If this is your first time doing it, it's probably not going to be that easy. It's going to take, a little bit to get the hang of it. But after that, $10. No, I'm not trying to sell you no lashes, but I'm just telling the truth. And yes, I am fully aware that lash clusters are not a new thing. I used to get them in the nail shop back in the day. Okay. Cosmetologists, estheticians, and actual lash techs has offers lash clusters on the side. That is different. I'm talking about these girls that learn how to do the DIY lashes from TikTok, and now they taking clients, no education, no isolation, no nothing. My whole thing is nobody wants to get educated on the things that they want to do. Everything is a cash grab. More people getting in the beauty industry that don't like it, so the customer service skills are going to be poor. I question whether I want to be in it, even though I love everything about it. I'm probably still going to be in it, but like, can y'all be serious for real?
I've been waiting for the girls to talk about this. Why did you leave your lash tech, and why do lash techs feel like the lash industry is dying? And as somebody who was a former lash tech who does social media marketing now for people in the lash industry, here are my 2 cents. Every client you lost has said, I cannot justify paying the price. And I feel like the first mistake that a lot of lash techs make is thinking that their only competitors is Susie down the block, okay? And it's not. It's DIY lash clusters. Let's be real. It's affordable, convenient, fast. Nobody's paying a squeeze-in fee. You do it on your own time, and sometimes it lasts just as long as people's lash retention. That is so hard to beat. I'm gonna take it a step further. In the beauty industry in total, not just lash techs, I feel like customer service experience is just not a thought. As in, you guys are all money hungry and it shows. And I get it, it's your source of income, this is your job, your career. This is also what you signed up for. Because it's not a necessity, it's a luxury. And don't even get me wrong, I'm all for being bad and bougie on a budget, but I'm also the same person that will come back if you give me a reason to come back. And if I don't come back, I will tell somebody to go to you. Everybody already been known that lash extensions is a luxury thing. The question is how do you make it luxury?
The beauty industry will be dead in the next 5 to 10 years if we don't do something. Just hear me out before you scroll, especially if you're in this industry. There are 3 main things that are causing a lot of issues that we need to do something about or talk about. I'm going to start with social media because I think it is the monster that we all created. That was meant for us to connect, to market ourselves out to people. But now you've got people that are doing hair or skin or nails, sitting in their kitchen, right? Cooking a roast, macaroni and cheese in the freaking microwave, doing a full highlight and a full foil, teaching other people how to do it. That is doing nothing but turning our profession into a joke and a hobby. We fought so hard to make that not happen, to make people understand that we are professionals, that we have spent, some of us, hundreds of thousands of dollars on certifications and education and all of that stuff, just to have people look at us and question us. The next thing is clients, they question, hey, you're not doing that balayage right. I saw on TikTok how you do it like this. That is absurd. We have got to do something to stop this. The second issue that I have is with the professional brands. They have sold us out, slap in the face. Think about this. We as the professionals, we built them. We gained the trust with the client for each and every one of them. We had to gain that trust with the client in order to sell their product. We made them rich. We blew them up. And what did they do? The second they got a chance, sold us out completely. Now you can find it on Ulta, Amazon, TikTok, Walmart, Ross, Marshall, literally everywhere. They even send out PR stuff to influencers who don't have their license, who have never spent a day behind the chair, and they allow them to sell it. It is absolutely a joke now. Look, we used to use retail to pay our rent, to make sure that our stylists were making more money, to make sure that our employees were able to gain more money on their paychecks. And now there's almost no point in selling it. And last but not least, this is going to make a lot of people mad, but I'm going to talk about it. Booth and suite rental. Look, salons used to be amazing. There was camaraderie, there was teamwork, there was just this sense of being busy and fun and depending on other people. And now it has isolated everything. I get it, I understand. There's a time and a place for it. If you have worked for somebody for a really long time, if they micromanaged you, if you weren't paid correctly, if you just want your independence, fine if you've been in the industry for a long time. However, if you are fresh out of school, and this is what cosmetology school is teaching people, to go straight into booth or suite rental, that's horrible for our industry. These people don't have the education that they need. They don't have the training that they need. And the only way to get that is working underneath mentorship and learning certain things. You cannot, I don't care what anybody says, you cannot learn the same things from social media, from a YouTube video that you are going to learn in real time under a mentor. So yeah, the beauty industry, it's gonna be gone in 5 to 10 years. Anymore, people are trying to do things at home on their own. They are watching somebody and telling us how to do our job. And if we don't step up, if we don't change things, we are done for. I don't know about you, but that bothers me. I've been in this industry for a really, really long time. I love my craft. I love the sense of being a hairstylist or being a beautician, whatever you want to call it. It's important to me. I have spent, like I said, a ton of money getting to where I am, and it is heartbreaking knowing that this industry is almost looked at as a joke now. So I think it's going to end if we don't do something about it. The question is, what are we going to do?
All that work and what did it get?
Short answer, lashes are a luxury. Long answer, it cost $120, right? And that's if you have like a good person who is willing to charge $120 for a full set, okay? $120 for a full set. Now you're going to need a fill every 2 weeks, even if you want to stretch it to 3. And if you stretch it to 3, some lash girls might come back and say you have less than 40% retention and therefore must get a full set anyways. So you're now spending $240 in the course of a month on a bad month. And what is 120 plus 90? Oh God. The quick math was stressing me out. $210 on a good month. $210 1 month for a pair of lashes that will last you weeks, right? $210 a month. The rent price in LA alone is creeping up to $3,000 for a 1-bedroom, okay? You're getting like $2,500 for 1 bedroom. Most people are barely making $2,500, period, right? Let's say you have a good job. Let's say you have a decent paying job that's paying you about $50,000 a year. You're bringing in, after taxes, maybe some 401k investments, extracurriculars, you're bringing in like $3,400 a month. 25 of that is going to just your living expenses, just your rent. God forbid you have a car note. God forbid you need groceries. God forbid you have a family member who needs anything from you. God forbid you need gas in your car. God forbid that your tire gets flat. God forbid literally anything else happens in your life, because your rent has taken up all your expenses, and now you're going to spend an extra $210 a month to have your lashes. For the average girl, that's not realistic. For the average person, that's not realistic. And it is not that the lash industry is like failing per se. It's just that people started realizing, I don't have money. My money could be used other places. God forbid you're also a nail girly, in the same category of being a lash girly, in the same category of being a girl who gets facials, in the same category of a girl who likes shopping. At this point, you're homeless. You on Skid Row getting lashes. Do you see? It just doesn't compute anymore. And I love it. I love me some lashes. And I have stopped for different reasons. I have an allergy. But also, that is a whole different reason, right? The girls are getting allergies. That lash glue that they're using on your eyes, that shit burns. Even the girls who are sticking with it, talking about their eye is burning for a whole day and they're just dealing with it. Some people don't want to deal with that. So, we're broke and we're abused. These are the two factors, unfortunately. And me personally, I really hate that, because I really love my lash girl. She was the best. We was like this. Like, we was really becoming homies. I was hanging out with her on the weekends and shit. I might need to just hit her up and see how she doing or something. I don't know.
Realistically, the upkeep of a beauty routine is so expensive, and it's just not realistic for a lot of people anymore. Everything's gotten so much more expensive, and I feel like even if you do have the money, who has the time? So these are some of the swaps that I've made to save money without sacrificing the pretty, because I do like to feel pretty, and that is okay. You are allowed to like to feel pretty. The first swap that I made was nails. I used to get my nails done every 3 weeks or so. I was paying about $90 to $100 each time with tip, and like $1,600 a year. I've been using press-on nails now for about a year at least, probably 2 now, a while. I use a glue that costs $17 on Amazon. The nail sets cost me about $13. Look at those. I'm sorry, those are beautiful. By switching to press-ons alone, I'm saving about $1,430 a year. The next swap I made was lash extensions. I used to get lash extensions done. I had to go every 2 weeks or so, and I think a full set was something like $130, and then a fill was about $95 each time. Now I just use lash serum so that I take really good care of my lashes so they're stronger, and then I just use little individual press-ons. I know you can get at-home lash extensions. I don't like those for my own reasons, but the ones that I use, like I have a couple on today, they're very subtle, they're very easy, just pop them underneath. I like them so much better. So I went from spending around $2,280 a year on lash extensions to now spending about $240 a year. The third swap that I've made is my hair. I used to get my hair done professionally, so I would go get it professionally colored every 3 months or so. Obviously, it's a lot cheaper being a brunette than a blonde. If you're blonde, that's a tough swap to make. But now I just color my hair at home. I maybe get it done once a year professionally, just to make sure it's all still healthy and trimmed. But I just color at home now using Sally's dye. So I went from spending $1,600 a year on my hair color to now spending, what's the math on that? About $120 a year just to dye it myself. And it actually works very well. I just use sometimes I use a demi-permanent color or I use a permanent, but you can use especially with being brunette, I can use a 10 volume developer. Sometimes I'll use a 20. So it's not nearly as damaging as a box dye. I don't box dye my hair. So I'm not telling you to do that because that can be risky. Number 4 is spray tans. About 10 years ago or so, I loved getting spray tans. They were costing me, though, about $65 every 2 weeks. But I'm naturally just very pale. I loved how pretty I felt with a spray tan, but affordability, it was not really there. And that was costing about $1,560 per year. Now I just self-tan at home. Honestly, it looks just as good. My spray tans were often a little wonky, too. Not always the best look. My fake tan is not always the best look either. Sometimes the hands get a little orange, but you know what? We do what we got to do. But one bottle, it cost me $30. I want to say it lasts me a couple months, so I'm saving a ton on spray tans. Saves me about $1,200 a year, actually. So those 4 things alone, like lashes, tan, nails, hair, I used to spend $7,040 a year on those 4 things. Just by making those swaps, I now spend $876 a year. That saves me $6,150 just by making those switches. And they're easy things to swap. Honestly, I love press-on nails. I will never go back to getting my nails done. I like this so much better. They are so pretty. They're always the perfect shape. They're strong. They last. Like the ones that I buy at least are great. They stay on as long as acrylics for me. Like they don't just break off, pop off. Like I have the best time with these and I can do them in 5 seconds. I soak them in acetone to get them off. I do them at home. It literally takes me like 10 minutes maybe 15, like in total, rather than sitting at the salon for 3 hours. Same with my hair color. Now I don't have to make an appointment and wait for months to get in. I just mix it all up, pop it on my hair, wait 30 minutes, rinse it out, done. By tanning at home, I don't have to go get butt naked in front of a stranger and have them spray me. I just do it in the bathroom. And I really love not having lash extensions. Like the thought of not being able to now like take my makeup off and like rinse my eyes really bothers me because I love getting those clean, and my lash extensions just always felt itchy. Like they just didn't work well for me. I know some people love them and that's so great. If that's something that you want to splurge on, absolutely, by all means. I really prefer not having them. And that was also probably my least favorite of all of the appointments because you had to lay there for so long with your eyes shut. So you couldn't even look at your phone or a magazine or do anything. So I would get very bored unless I fell asleep. So these swaps not only save me money and time, but I get less antsy. Please let me know if you have anything to add, if there's any sort of swaps you've made in your beauty routine where you still feel really pretty, but you're like, hey, this saves me so much money and so much time. Please let me know because I'm always looking for ways to cut corners where I can still feel beautiful and pampered and fabulous without spending any money or a lot less money. I love you and I hope you have a beautiful day. Bye.
If you're under 40, maybe even 50, you probably aren't disciplined enough for what we're going through right now. We are used to over consuming so much, whether it be beauty, whether it be Stanley cups, whether it be whatever, right? We're used to buying whatever we want. People use Afterpay, people use credit cards, people use all of their paycheck. The thought of being uncomfortable is not really a reality for a lot of people. They don't think that they should ever have to be uncomfortable. They don't ever think that they should have to be inconvenient. And with this recession news coming out and every industry pretty much being in a recession and cutting jobs and whatnot, people have to understand that the resources that they are used to having are reduced. That inherently will make you uncomfortable. If you're used to buying steak every week, you're buying multiple steaks, and now you like, the steak is, I'm used to filet mignon, the steak is $40. I have to either switch to a lower quality steak or buy something else. You're used to eating that, right? It's now out of your reach. Whether or not you want to admit that, it's out of your reach. And a lot of people are not ready to have that discussion because they don't want to be told they can't afford something. But that's the reality. A lot of people cannot afford a lot of things. And you're going to have to make trade-offs on the things that you are willing to compromise on versus the things you are not. So this is the time where you have to decide what level of discipline you're willing to adopt, how uncomfortable you're willing to be, and you're going to have to make sacrifices, whether it be switching to beans as like your primary protein and adding things on top to make it stretch. Like recessions are uncomfortable and a lot of them last a decade. And I would assume that half of that decade is actively getting worse, right? So if it was just announced today, we probably have 5 more years of things actively getting worse. Obviously, this is my first time as an adult in a recession, but it just seems quite logical to assume that things are going to get worse before they get better if things last a decade, right? And I just think a lot of people don't want to face that reality. And that is fine, but it doesn't make it not the reality. So the lash techs want to know why the girls are not booking lash appointments like they used to. Pull up a chair, because I'm about to tell y'all everything that I would do as a lash tech to be booked and busy in the year 2024. There's a market for everything as long as you know how to market, so just listen, okay? First things first, I would not offer classic, hybrid, and volume sets. I will be doing custom sets, and I'm about to show y'all a perfect example of this.
So I started color matching from her brows to her roots. It is, right?
In here. That's pretty. Not only does she do great work, but she customizes the sets down to the hair color, the eye shape. If you're able to provide a custom set, I will go get my lashes done again. Like, for two, I'm never coming out of pocket $200 for a lash set. That brings me to my next point. As a licensed esthetician, I will be offering a subscription service or something along those lines. Hear me out. Okay? X amount a month, you get a full lash set, 2 fills, or waxing. You get where I'm going with this? It comes with something more than just lashes. Something paired with the lashes. Now we talking. Now you have a regular customer, which brings in consistent income, because I'm coming back for that. I'm paying my subscription fee where it makes sense. You hear what I'm saying? Yes, everything is expensive. Yes, people rather DIY, but that's not everybody in the whole entire world. Just got to switch up the marketing. Of course, you got to be able to market this properly and go about it the correct way. But this is just the base of everything. Look, I'm just giving you, take it.
Personally, I've never really gotten my lashes done much. I think I got them done once a few years ago, and honestly, I never went back. I also wear glasses, so my eyes already struggle a bit with lashes. It just wasn't worth it for me, but watching all these clips really make me think. Relying on just one income stream like lashes can be risky. Trends change, people's spending habits shift, and suddenly an industry that was booming can start slowing down. I'd love to hear what you guys think. Do you still get your lashes done? Or have you noticed the industry slowing down too? If yes, drop a comment. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe for more content like this. Thanks for watching.